Hi everybody, Sarita here from SJ Coaching, and thank you so much for stopping by. And in today's video, I want to share with you the first pillar of my upcoming program, the 7 steps of how to create a profitable and sustainable business. And the first pillar is all around, the topic that we'll be covering is all around people. And it's probably one of my most favorite topics to talk about because there's just so much we can cover in that and uncover on what is working for your business and what you could possibly incorporate to create a really engaged environment, whether it's for your clients or for the team of people that you've got employed, and even for yourself. So we talk a lot about, we dive into, what are some of the belief systems we hold at the moment in relation to our business, where are we heading, where would we like to go, what are some of the obstacles that we might have encountered or are encountering, so roadblocks, and then we find strategies and solutions for those. We look at communication and attitude, behaviors within your team and behaviors within yourself, and how we can really utilize those behaviors to create a profitable and sustainable business, and where we need to make the tweaks. So I just want to share a really quick story from one of my clients that I was working with a few weeks ago, and they have a business where they've had quite significant growth and they've been adding resources to their teams. And what was actually occurring without them realizing it is that they were creating 2 teams within one team, so the silo effect. And luckily they had picked up on it very early in the process, so we were able to make some very simple changes within that team. But one of the problems that we encountered was that there was one particular employee who was a fantastic performer in recent years, and an amazing attitude, very positive, very driven, and in the last few weeks he had really dropped in that performance, and especially his attitude and how he was communicating to not only his internal team but to his clients, and to the effect that it was actually starting to be noticed. So the general manager and the second in charge, they had various conversations about how to best approach it, and they couldn't really figure out what to do and how to table this issue with this particular employee, especially because he'd been with the company for a long time. They had made some assumptions that were not correct, and the employee actually hadn't understood what was going on and only saw the communication being that new employees had been added. So after we sat down and we had a look, I asked just one simple question, and I said to them, have you guys actually sat down with this employee and asked him what was going on? And the answer was no. They looked quite puzzled when I asked them, and they said, no, we haven't. So I said, well, maybe that's a good starting point to, see what was going on. Now, the other thing, they had made the assumptions of what they thought was going on. And this is what I always make a joke about, because we all know this is not true, right? But when we become mind readers, when we actually start thinking that we know what is going on and we haven't checked in with that other person, that's where we can sometimes fall into the trap of, creating a story that might not even be relevant. So if you're one of those, stop doing that immediately, because as we know, we cannot read anyone's mind. So it was really great, because now that we knew what was going on, we could start creating strategies to help not only the employee but the business realign. So we created a workshop, we worked together, and now everybody is on the same page. We all know what is needed. The attitude and communication has come back to the level that this employee was at before, and things are transparent and clear. Now, one of the other things that we encouraged this client to do as well is to actually start